Hi, I'm Pat Freeman. I'm with Glow Manufacturing Company, and I have the pleasure of talking to Bruce Teele. Bruce and I have been friends for over 30 years, and Bruce is part of the, you'd say, 32 years on the PPE project.
Yes.
And Bruce and I are attending a symposium. Bruce is going to be doing his own speaking. Bruce, let's start with what you know best. I understand there are some new standards coming down the pipe. What's coming down?
Within the project, and there are 7 committees, as you know, that deal with these PPE issues, we have picked up 4 new documents to work on, 4 new projects within the project, right? I think one of the more important ones is NFPA 1801, which is on thermal imaging cameras for fire services. It's not meant to be for all emergency services because the fire environment is that much more difficult.
Yep.
That was under development for 2 years, and we went out to solicit public proposals last summer. And right now, actually last Friday, the 6th, public comments closed on this. And the committee received a number of public comments. They'll be meeting to resolve those issues and to carry on with 1801. There was a lot of interest from the fire service, a lot of interest from the manufacturers. And I think we're going to have a very good document.
Oh, that's great. That's good.
In the special operations gang, we have started work, same type of cycle that 1801 is on, and this is on 1952. And that's on swift water operations, surface water operations. And that also has been through ROP already. Their public comments also closed.
And they'll close at the same time?
The 6th of March, last Friday. And we will progress with getting that document through the system. It looks like we're going to have another new document. I'm sticking my neck out.
You scare me when you say that.
Yeah, well, we went to the Standards Council because Standards Council has to approve all of the committee's work. And we have very good outside input from a whole host of different agencies, both police, fire, rescue, technical rescue, and they all said we definitely need a standard on contaminated water operations, PPE for contaminated water operations. That also is Special Operations Committee. And once the council blesses that and tells the committee to go ahead, which I hope will happen within the next 2 weeks, we will start our work on that, and we will advertise to people when we have something for them to look at and to give feedback back to the committee. So we've got some busy times, and we're doing new things, expanding out, but it's been very interesting because of all the emergency services coming together on these issues. They really need that type of help, and nobody else is developing the standards, even though fire is our middle name, so to speak. You know, we try to accommodate all of the emergency services.
I know from working with the standards that a big part of the thing, the big part of projects is certification. Is there anything you can share with us on the subject of certification?
Way back when you and I were both younger, actually you were still in grammar school, but I was at NFPA.
Thank you, Bruce.
We realized that there needed to be a way of validating that protective clothing that was developed, manufactured in accordance with our standards, in fact, met the requirements of our standards. And in the middle 80s, we started working on that to do a certification program. In my opinion, the certification of these products is the end user, the fire service and others, best assurance that they're getting what they're purchasing. And it's a bit of a complicated process, or an involved process. I shouldn't say complicated, involved process. And we think it's producing good results. There are 2 major certification organizations working on this. There are smaller certification organizations that are working on smaller items. They may not have the facilities to do the big thing, but we're moving forward. SEI, the Safety Equipment Institute, and UL Underwriters Laboratories are the 2 principal larger organizations that work with us on this. What we need to keep impressing on fire and other emergency services is don't buy a pig in a poke. unfortunately, salespersons in their zealous effort to sell product can perhaps not correctly identify what that product is. And for the lesser informed people out there who aren't close to NFPA,
or the process,
the process, and they rely on word of mouth, and they've probably dealt with a salesperson for 10, 15 years, and there's a trust or a bond built there. But unfortunately, the salespersons may not know because they're principally salesmen, distributors.
Right.
And we have problems with the fire departments and others buying equipment that they think is certified and it isn't.
I see.
And the simple factor is, if the purchaser, before signing any purchase agreement, will demand that the manufacturer tell them, in fact, they probably ought to write it in their request for bids, that they should say, we want you to substantiate your certification to NFPA, whatever the appropriate document is. All the product standards have certification. And then to, before they sign the contract, actually contact the certification organization again to assure everything is okay, that there hasn't been a glitch in the product and a temporary pull. Certification organizations are very happy to work with the purchasers to tell them what's happening, what's going on, and I believe it's very, very critical. And you're going to spend money on these things. Get something that you have good assurance that is going to protect your people in the hazardous environments that they'll face. And a lot of people still call us and probably call
NFPA,
you and say, you know, I just bought this thing, but I can't find your emblem in it. You know, I says, well, first of all, our emblem isn't. We cannot certify with the standards development organization. But the certification organization reviews the product, evaluates it, tests it, inspects it, and if it passes all the requirements of whatever the standard is that it's being manufactured to, then the certification organization, and you know this so well, but the certification organization allows the manufacturer to affix the certification organization's symbol, logo, mark to the product with the appropriate wording that this meets whatever NFPA standard.
So it's very fair to say if it does not have a certification mark, it does not meet NFPA.
Bingo.
Good.
Doesn't meet the standard.
Excellent. Bruce, if anybody wanted to get a hold of you or NFPA, is there a website or something we could share with the crowd?
My email is bteele, B-T-E-E-L-E, @nfpa.org. O-R-G. I travel a fair amount, so you know, I may
That's
not be...
That's why we're catching you here in Charlotte. You travel a lot.
You know, it's, I will get back to them, you know, and we can answer those questions. They also should contact the proposed manufacturer of this and say, who is your certification organization, and get the contact number from them and go to that certification right up front and say, this is what we're looking to purchase.
Can you
it
verify?
certified? Exactly. And that keeps everybody safer.
And everybody on an even playing field. Bruce, thank you so much. I know how busy you are.
Thank you.